All right, my name is Mark. I am your guitar teacher, and I'm just going to do a quick video because we did a class tonight, and you might not have got it, or maybe you want a refresher and know what we were talking about. So I'm going to keep it as short as I can, mostly because I already recorded it and my computer froze, so I'm doing this again for the second time, but I should be well practiced, right? So if you have first things first, we're going to hold the guitar. You'll notice the shape of the guitar. You have that nice curve there. That's going to go on your right leg. Okay, so we're sitting up straight, and hopefully you don't see me slouching, but you can see the guitar also is tilted up a little bit. I'm not leaning or anything, but you can see where you can let the figure out where you want to how you want to position the guitar by where it is on your leg. And then once it's in a good position, you can hold it closer, kind of draw it into your body just to hold it close. Yeah, okay. So we've got 6 strings. We're going to tune the guitar today, and I'm going to send you another link to a video of a guy who explains tuning way better than me. But we're going to go string 6, talk about the notes here. We got E on string 6, you got A on string 5, you got a D on string 4, you got a G on string 3, you got a B on string 2, and an E on string 1. All right, so then we've got this little contraption called a tuner. This is a Korg tuner here. I like Korg tuners. They seem to be really reliable. So this one, I just turn the power on by hitting the one button, and it's got a read 440. Where we got 440, you see that? And then there are other buttons. There's a cal button on the back that calibrates it, and there is a mode button and a function button, so they all do different things. And then there's a power button, which you've found by now, hopefully, if this is a tuner that you have. If not, if you don't have a tuner, then you can always download an app. The one that they recommend in the video is Guitar Tuna, so that that you can put that on your phone for free. But this one I like. I can clip it onto the headstock of my guitar. That's the headstock, as you can see, and point the screen to me so I can see what's going on. So basics with tuning. As you grab one of the machine heads here, I'm going to pick the string 6. Okay, it's telling me it's a little flat right now. Flat means low. Okay, and it just kind of has a little arrow on there, and you want that arrow to get centered. So yeah, but here's a little exercise. What I want you to do is, you notice as you turn that, it'll be easier to turn one way than it will another. So what we're going to do is turn it the easy way, which is to loosen off the string. So have a listen. I'm going to play my string and tune and keep playing it. Okay, so I just flattened my string, and I'm going to tune it right now by tightening it. So slowly tightening it, and I'm watching the tuner too. I'm at an E flat now, just about there. Okay, so now we're at E. So you'll do the same thing. You don't have to loosen it off, but you will have to listen to see if your note is higher or lower than what it's supposed to be in tune. A, that's a little sharp, so I bring it down. Half the time our ears aren't quite sensitive enough to pick up whether it's tuned or whether it's sharp or flat. So sharp means high, flat means low. Check out that video if you need a break, and we can stop this one now, and you can make sure that your guitar is in tune. If you don't have a tuner, that's fine, or if you can't tune just yet, then I've got another exercise that we can do without having to tune, but your notes will just sound differently from mine. So let's do the warm-up now. So that warm-up, I'm going to take off my tuner, and our warm-up, we're just going to use each of our 4 fingers of our left hand. So we played all the open notes that we can. That's just the open strings. You had E, A, D, G, B, E. E, A, D, G, B, E. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. That's how I remember those. Okay, so finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4. we're going to line those up on string 1. String 1 is the thin string, and you're going to go string 1. We're going to go, I'm lined up at fret 9. So where do we put our finger to get a good sound? Have a listen to this one. That's nice and clean. When I move a little further from the fret, you can try this too. If you move a little further from the fret, play that note and hear what it sounds like. It's not as loud, not as clean. So what I need to do to get a clean note is I'm holding that string onto the metal fret. I don't need to push the string all the way down to the wood, just onto the metal fret. If I'm on top of the metal fret, you'll see how I'm lined up right on it. Have a listen. We don't get a good sound. Okay, so let's do the same thing with finger 2, right behind the fret. Finger 3, finger 4. Okay, hopefully those sound good to you. They might not sound good just yet because your fingers are just building up strength. Now, take a close look at how I have my left hand positioned. You'll notice that my fingers are round. They're not doing this, all right? And I'm trying to keep my fingertips on the strings as opposed to the bottoms of the fingers. So I'm not doing this so much, but I'm keeping my fingers curved. And have a look at my thumb on there as well. My thumb is at the back of the neck. I'm not doing this, okay? You don't want to do this because you can't really, it's just really bad technique, and this bent wrist back here will lead to problems if you keep doing that and keep playing like that. You will see some people playing like that, but you don't want to do it for long because it will, like I said, lead to problems. So keep your thumb down and your thumb at the back of the neck and those fingers rounded, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Lining up those fingers, we're going to go up to string 2 and do the same thing. String 3. I could keep going along those, but to begin with, you might want to do it 2 or 3 times on each string, like. And then line up carefully as you move down to the next string. Sorry, I'm doing that way too fast, but nice steady beats. String 4. If you want to do string 5 and 6, you can. Just stop the video and spend a couple minutes doing that. You can also try that on different frets as well. You notice if we're down on fret 3 that the frets are a little further apart, and you can kind of see again how close you need to get to the fret to get a good sound. So if I'm playing finger 3 down here, that doesn't sound very good, so I'll move it a little closer to the fret. Or if I'm on the fret, that doesn't work, so just behind the fret. Okay, so there we go. Here is we are going to talk about the notes on string 1 and notes on string 2. So if you remember, string 1 was open E. Okay, so to make an F, we're going to do F and G now. So to get an F, you do finger 1 on fret 1. To do a G, you can do finger 3 or finger 4 on fret 3. Okay, so that was an E, that was an F. I'll use my finger 3 for G. Can you try those notes? So you can stop right now or play along with me. I'll do it one more time. Okay, let's if you need to stop and just make sure those notes are sounding good. If you've been using finger 3, try using finger 4 instead. Okay, let's do the same thing now. So that was E, F, and G. We're going to start on string 2 now. String 2 will, open string 2 is B. So we got B, and we've also got fret 1 and 3 again. So that's a C, B, C, and D we're going to do now. B, C, D. You can see I'm using my finger 4. You can choose whether you want to use finger 3 or finger 4. I don't want you to use finger 2 or finger 1. Some people will just keep using finger 1 for everything, but we need to use all our fingers. So just to get them stronger and to play more efficiently. Let's go G, F, E. Do you remember those notes? G, F, E, G, F, E. Let's do D, C, B now. D, C, B, D, C, oops, D, C, B. And keep those fingers close. You'll see me, I'm trying, I do like to move away just so you can see what's going on, so you can see the notes. But to play efficiently, keep your fingers really close to the strings. Don't touch them, except for the ones that you're holding down. Yeah. So you might have some questions about that, but you can send me a quick email. And if you have your book, you notice your book will talk about reading tab, and will have a couple of chords in there as well. So tab can be explained by they use 6 lines for it. I can't show you the book because there's probably copyright problems with that. But if you'll see on one of the first pages there's your first notes. There will be 6 lines. So tab is basically 6 lines, and you have the top line is string 1, and the bottom line is string 6. Okay, so top line string 1, bottom line string 6. And what you will see is if it's an open string, it'll be 0, and if you see a if you see a number on there, that'll tell you what fret it is. So for example, if we're doing open, if we're talking about the notes that we just learned today, you would have something on line 1, and that would be a 0 on line 1, and that would be our E note. If you had a number 1, or if you were trying to find F, that would be a number 1 on the top line, and then G would be a 3 on the top line. Then B would be a 0 on line 2, or a 1 on line 2, second line from the top, or a 3. So, and like I said, with those you can decide for fret 3 notes whether you use your finger 3 or finger 4. And the last thing that we talked about was some chords. Okay, so the 2 chords that we're going to take a look at today are E minor. If you want to stop at that and just come back to this part, you can, because there's a lot of coordination that you're going to be building with your fingers. Oh yeah, and I wanted to talk about Ode to Joy as well. It's a kind of one of the elementary songs that we would do with this one. So you have, it uses the notes on strings 1, 2, and 3, and it goes like this: E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, E, D, D, E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D, C, C. Okay, that's just the first part of it. I'll send you some notes with the rest of it on there, and with these songs you can get them as simple or as complicated as you want to. We want to keep it simple to start with, right? Otherwise we could play some stuff like with Ode to Joy. You could add some chords and things to that. We're going to talk about chords in a minute, but have a listen to this. So. Okay, so yeah, there will be some. We'll keep getting more difficult. We'll practice some more complicated things as we build on some of these fundamental skills. So that's some melody, that's some chord and melody. We're going to talk about chords now. We are really talking about chords now. So the 2 chords that we're going to talk about today, I'm going to show you how to play, are an E minor and a C chord. But let's start first with the E minor. We just need 2 fingers for this one. We need finger 2 and finger 1, and we're going to place them on string 4 and string 5. So finger 1, we're going to go on string 5, fret 2, finger 2, string 4, fret 2. Okay, everything else is open, so you need those fingers to be make sure they're only touching the strings that they're holding down. I'm just playing string 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and if you wanna, if that's sounding good, give it a strum as well. Just drag the pick across the strings. Okay, if you're having problems with it, it might be something like this. It might sound something like this when you hear each of the strings. You hear how that one's not really making much noise? That's because my fingers are down a little bit too low, so I want to raise them up a little bit. Okay. Okay, so play around with that chord, see if you can get that sounding really nice. It might take you a few tries, or it might take you a week, or it might take you 2, but just keep going, getting those fingers in place there, and then what I'm going to show you another chord, and then we'll practice switching back and forth between the 2 chords. So okay, this C chord is a little bit more complicated. If you're wanting some simple chords for now, then that's fine. I mean, just kind of skip this part. But this is the full C chord here. So we're going to start with finger 1. Do you remember the C note? We learned that one already. So that's your finger 1 on string 2, fret 1. Finger 2 is going to go up on string 4, fret 2. And now we're going to take finger 3 onto string 5. So do what you can to keep them close to behind the frets. But if that's a bit of a stretch for you, then it might not be sounding as good as you want it to, but it comes with time. It comes with practice. So with this C chord, I only start with string 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, or yeah. Anyway, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you heard that E string, that string 1 there, kind of got muffled there. So I'm going to adjust my hand so that I'm a little bit lower. I don't have to play louder or anything, but I'm just moving my hand to the right spot. What to do with my little finger? I don't want to do anything too crazy with it. Just kind of let it relax. You don't need to tuck it behind or anything like that. Just let it float somewhere. So what do you think will happen if I move my fingers away from the frets a little bit? Let's move it back here and hear what it sounds like. I'm pushing down pretty hard, so it still sounds okay. But if my fingers aren't strong enough yet, then that's what it'll sound like. So get them as close to the frets as you can. And now as you go back to the E minor, we're going to do that. Finger 2 is already in place, so I'm going to move finger 1 into place on string 5. And you'll see I can't get my finger 1 right up to the fret unless I kind of do that, but that's not really going to help me. So I'm just going to do my best to keep it as close as possible. Let's go back to a C chord again. So do you remember how to find that? Finger 1, string 1. Your finger 2 might be getting sore now, so if you need to take a break, then do that and come back to this. So switch back to E minor. To start with, just do like a long chord, 2, 3, 4, and then switch back to E minor, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You can count with me. 3, 4. One more time. C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That might sound like a song you know already. I can't tell you what song that was, otherwise my video will get copyright infringement or something like that. But right now it's just 2 chords. 2 chords, your C and your E minor. What else do we need to do today? I think that, okay, so that was just holding it for 4 beats. You can also do 2 beats on each one. Let's try your C again. For 2 beats, play it twice. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to E minor, 2, 3, 4. 4 back to C. This is once you get a little bit quicker at switching. And then you can do one on every beat. 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, how's that for a dramatic ending? The other thing you can do with chords is strumming them. So we've been strumming them, but you can go up and down. We're going to do a simple rhythm now. It's going to go 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so as I said, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Let's start with our E minor again. Just stick with the 1 chord for now. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So if you're watching what I'm doing with my right hand, I'm not doing anything with my left hand, but my right hand, I'm kind of more twisting rather than jamming, like moving my whole arm up and down like that, right? So that shows a direction, but see if we can get that twisting motion going on. I'm just kind of dragging my pick across the strings. Switch to a C. Okay, so what we're doing with the rhythm there is we're adding what's called eighth notes. So we talked about a whole note, which would be 4 beats, and we talked about half note, which would be 2 beats. So it would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the quarter notes are on every beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the eighth notes are when you start to go down and up, 1, 2, and 3, 4. There are 16th notes and there's a bunch of other notes, but we're going to keep it. We're just going to stick with those ones for now. I think that's about it. So you've got your warm-up that you can do. You've got your, well, start with your tuning, if we can get that done. Tuning, warm-up, playing through some of those notes, playing through Ode to Joy, playing some chords. If I've forgotten anything, go back through the video and watch it again, I guess. All right, so I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, and maybe you'll have some questions or you'll have an idea of some songs that you would like to be learning, and I guess that's about it for now. So you have a good night, and I hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you soon.